Hi, hello. How are you doing? Today at Bible study, we studied the passage where Jesus says he's come to bring division, not peace. Yeah, here it is. This is Luke chapter 12, verse 51, where he says, "Do you think I've come to bring peace on the earth? No, I tell you, but division." Oh wow. From now on, there will be 5 and 1 family divided against one another. How is that encouraging? For what it's worth, here are 2 points from today's passage. Firstly, Jesus takes this judgment on himself. Secondly, we too will experience this division in our own lives. Firstly, Jesus has come to take this judgment on himself. Verse 49, "I've come to bring fire on the earth, and how I wish it were already kindled." It's talking about Jesus as the judge. He's come to bring this fire, this judgment. And he actually wishes judgment already started. It doesn't sound like a very nice thing to say, Jesus. But verse 49 is paralleled with verse 50. Because in verse 50 he says, "I have a baptism to undergo, and how distressed I am until it is completed." Literally, it is finished. So on the one hand, there's fire. On the other hand, there's waters of baptism. On the one hand, there's destruction upon the earth. On the other hand, there is this death that he will experience on the cross. In other words, Jesus will take this judgment that he'll bring on the earth on himself when he dies on the cross. And he wishes for it to be finished. Something he says on the cross, "It is finished." So that's good news. That's kind of encouraging. Jesus has this judgment. If we are Christians, if we trust in him, he takes upon himself when he dies our death on the cross. That's the first point. But as an application of that, Jesus says we too will experience a measure of this division, of this judgment in our own lives here on earth. So this is verse 53. They will be divided, father against son, son against father, mother against daughter, and daughter against mother. And so, it's talking about this family whereby the father is against the son, but the son is also against the father, the mother against the daughter, daughter also retaliates against the mom, and also then he adds mother-in-law against daughter-in-law. That's just to be expected. No, but the whole family is broken down in terms of their relationship. Everyone is against one another in this relationship where they should be together. They should be loving one another. Jesus has come to break apart that relationship. How is that encouraging? 2 subpoints. Firstly, this is the judgment. This is the judgment. The fire is not talking about destruction of everything, death, He's talking about a breakdown in the most intimate of relationships, not least our relationship with God. And therefore, when that breaks down, our relationship with one another breaks down. As we reject one another, this is how we've rejected God. And at the end of time, God will respond with this judgment, with this rejection. That's what the fire looks like. That's what the fire feels like in our own relationships, in the deepest and most loving of our relationships, when it breaks down. But secondly, and again, Jesus is speaking to Christians, people who will follow him, people who say that they love him. Jesus is saying, expect this. Don't be surprised when this happens to you. You become a Christian, you go back home, you think that, things will be okay. They may not be. And it might be hard for people to accept you if you're a Christian, especially because they love you, especially because they know you. Because the hardest people to hear the gospel from are the people whom you love, the people whom you know the best, maybe even children whom you've raised telling you the gospel. It is so hard to accept that message from them. And here's Jesus saying, if that happens to you, don't be surprised, don't retaliate, but also understand why this response is happening. It's not a response to you, not just to your conversion, but it is in part their own response, heartfelt response to their own relationship to God. They're working it out, and because you're in the middle of this, you might get in the crossfire. Pray for them, forgive them, pray for reconciliation between you and them, but also them and God. Well, for what it's worth, I hope that's helpful. Jesus takes this judgment that we deserve upon himself, and therefore we have life and we have forgiveness. But also in this life, there are others who need to respond to this offer of life. And as they work this out, they will respond maybe not in the best ways, and we should be careful too about our response and about our own personal feelings when we see this happen. That we should pray for reconciliation, we should pray for forgiveness, and we should pray that they will come to know the Lord Jesus Christ. Well, thanks for watching. This was a slightly long one. Again, a tough passage. Maybe it might be worth having a second look at just yourself. This is Luke chapter 12, verse 49 to 53. Thanks for watching. Take care and God bless. Yeah, so today we looked at this passage. Hey, wait, no, this one.